Hi, welcome to the LA Sober Sessions podcast, everyone. Please check out the brand at lasober.com. Check out our merch. You can follow us on all the socials at We Are LA Sober and our YouTube channel as well. So today we have a guest, Suzie Weidling. Hi.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
Thanks for coming on.
I'm happy to be here.
I know Suzie from the kids' school where our daughter's in K together or first grade? First grade.
I know. I was trying to think. Either kindergarten or first grade.
Yeah. So
early on.
Early on. So we have been friends for, God, that's 12 years. Is that what that is? Jesus, we're getting old. I thought, you have a company, and your company is called
Ampersand.
And you are a storyboard. Is that what you guys do?
Yeah, we represent storyboards, illustrators, any kind of artists that work that like tell stories. So like TV shows, movies. A lot of them work for advertising agencies, brands. But yes, visuals.
And that's a changing world.
Yeah. Not in a... It's hard.
Yeah. No, I feel like this whole AI thing, it's amazing and it's so good in so many ways, but it's changing the way that we all do our jobs and the way clients do their job, and it's scary. I mean, like the unknown of what is gonna come. Like there's so much good's gonna come out of it, but there's so much bad that's gonna come out of it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real love-hate. You know, a few years ago in the beginning, I had artists that were like, "You need to take a stand, against AI taking, artists' images and coming in the way of, what artists do." And I'm like, no one gives a fuck if we take a stand. Like, this shit's coming. Like, you can either...
You're either on board or you're not at this point.
And if you're not, no one's gonna give a fuck that you're not.
Yeah, it's I posted something last week. I think it was last week. No, actually, like it was probably a month ago, and it was a clip about Rogan, and Joe was saying that he's not drinking anymore, and someone put a post this week to it and said it's not true, meaning it's fake. And it's true, right? Like people don't know what's real or fake anymore.
I know.
And that's the scary thing about all this. And I think, when it gets in the hands of someone that is doing bad stuff, it's not going to be good. But it's here to stay, and it is for sure changing the world. It is going to be like the game changer of all game changers.
Yeah, and I have like 90 artists that are like Petrify, all such a range of... Some of the smart ones are, taught themselves AI and sort of. I mean, our goal initially was to incorporate it, to say that like, what better to have, because a lot of the agencies I work for, they want to do AI. They want to incorporate it. So having like an artist who understands the prompts and can pull the art like in and out of like Midjourney, for instance, and can use other skills they have to put it back in, is more effective and comes out way better than like some art director who's trying to figure out how to use it. But it's hard. It's hard to sell something to clients that are afraid of it. Like I'm also like pulling out of my ass. I mean, I don't, I'm like trying to, it's hard to sell what's so unknown.
Well, and though it's super hard about it is, I use it a lot. Like I like it's open nonstop on my computer, but I have to make myself use my brain, because like if I'm doing a post on LinkedIn, if I do a post that comes from me and from my heart and from what I really think and in my words, it will touch people differently than if I just use chat. And chat's so easy and it may sound better, but it's not me, and people know it's not me. Like you can read it, so I have to make myself like things like that, like continue to do my own thing, but then I use it for like if someone sends me an article, I don't read the article. I put in ChatGPT and I'm like, tell me how this affects my business and what I need to know about it. Like because I don't have time to read stuff like that, so I use it for things like that. But
well, the authenticity I think it doesn't capture. Like it's not capturing who you are. It's not capturing your voice.
Nice word.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I mean, we were always trying to say like if you combined like humans with the technology, it's sort of this like great place for it to be where. But you know, my agent, like advertising, films, TVs, they're all in like a bit of a shit spiral. So it's it's hard to sell to people that are like losing their jobs.
Yeah.
And for not just AI, a million other,
It's for every single business, but I do think to your point that I mean, if you are using it and you understand it, you still need humans. You just have to be on the forefront of it, because if not, it's like there's people that work for us that don't use it, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like I use it in every aspect of my life, like every little it's like my therapist almost. Like honestly, like
have you used this?
The
therapy one?
No, but I just use Chat for my leg, and Chat knows everything about my leg and my doctor appointments and what I'm doing, and it gives me and it does, like at night when I'm bummed out, like I'll just type into it and it'll talk to me.
I've never. That's actually really cool.
Oh, it's good because it doesn't tell me what I want to hear. It tells me the real deal.
And not someone who's like, we're talking about this again. It's
yeah. Well, and like my wife, she doesn't want to hear about it anymore. She's like, shut up. Like, I don't want to hear you complain. Yeah. Which I get, but I want to complain to someone.
I know.
No one else is going to listen to me.
I know. It is. You think of all these people that are like socially, when you represent artists, I'm like, I'm the social front for them. Because people are fairly, they've been sitting in their mom's basements for fucking like, drawing Dungeons and Dragons. Like, they're not great. They don't have great people skills. And I'm like, this is going to screw people won't have to talk to people or like have any of those skills.
So Kate is like, she's a pro with Chat, and I see it because she's on my account. So I see everything she does on it. God, oh my God.
Do you want to see everything?
I don't think I do, but I do. Nicole used to make fun of me. She's using it now for work. Like she's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like she's finally catching on to it. Emma isn't there yet. Emma's a very follow the book. Like she would never like try and take a shortcut. So it'll be interesting, but I'm sure she'll have to start to use it too. So our daughters, our oldest daughter, are going to college. How do you feel about this?
It's interesting. Like when I was thinking about talking to you about it, I think because of the last year of my life, I think it feels different than I thought it would. It's a little bit more, I got divorced, and then I moved into the Palisades, and then couldn't go back to that house, and then, so my company's struggling, and so I'm trying to be like, this is like the fucking renaissance of Suzie. I can reinvent all of it, but then at the same time, I'm like, fuck, I have to reinvent all of it.
Yeah, because with you, so you got a divorce, and now your daughter's gonna be leaving, and so you're gonna be alone. Like that's kind of scary. Like when I sit across from you, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I want to give you a hug.
You're like she can't. She's not equipped for this.
I'm like, but like you are, Scott. Like
I know it's kind of. I don't think it's quite set in.
Yeah.
And especially since I've started, the divorce process. It's like Dylan and I have, like, it's been the two of us. Like, we live together. We've, like, so it's like my best friend. It's like
that's a lot.
I'm like, what are we watching tonight, girl? Like, it's so it's a lot. I mean, I grew up in New York, but went to college in St. Louis, and then went to graduate school at USC. So. And same with sort of everyone in my family. I was never someone who thought she'd, like, stay here.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't even apply to a school. D.C., American, where she's going, is the most west of any school she's applied to.
Jesus.
So I knew she'd be, I knew she would do it, but yeah, like you were saying earlier, watching them, letting them fall on their faces a bit. Like you're just, we're about to watch them just like.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
part. I'm like,
but and it's so different from like when we went to school. Like I didn't have a cell phone when I went to school, and I would talk to my parents. I don't know, like once a month maybe. Like not, I didn't talk to them a lot, and they didn't. We didn't have like a video or anything, and it's such a different. It's so different. Like I think Nicole will talk to Kate a lot.
yeah, she will.
I don't think I think Kate and I will text here and there, but Kate will call me. I don't think she'll. I like I'm gonna be sad. Like I am gonna be super sad when Kate leaves. I am I'm happy for her, but then in some ways I'm like, oh my god, because she was just gone for a week and my house was so quiet and so calm. It's like, whoa, this has got a nice too. I love you, but good riddance.
I know. Well, you're kind of like Dylan was away for something too recently, and I was like, oh, like I get to like think about. It's like not all those feelings and all those teenage emotions are just like blabbing onto me. Like,
yeah,
I have like a moment to think. I was like, okay, like, because they're so intertwined with us, like the way.
So,
and with AI too, though. I'm like, Dylan wants to study psychology and maybe neuroscience, and I'm like, hope that's something that they're gonna need in 4 years.
Yeah, but even if not, I think that I think if you could understand how people are and act and react, and it's going to help you in business or whatever you're gonna do. It's because think of how much more we know about humans now than we did.
Yeah, definitely.
Like when we were young, when we were their age. Like, but these kids are so much smarter than we ever were because it's all at their fingertips. It's like it doesn't stop.
I had someone who clearly doesn't know me well ask, like, they were like, well, don't you feel like it's a total waste of money? Like, have you thought about like trade school, like electricians? I mean, I could speak for Dylan and Kate, and I'm like, if you met them for 5 fucking minutes, you'd be like, these two are not going to be electricians. They're not plumbers. Like, I think that's an amazing way to go, but unfortunately our daughters.
Yeah. And they want to experience the whole,
which they should. It's cool.
Exactly. Like it will for sure help them down their journey as long as they, it's going to be interesting. So recently divorced. I know you're ex or soon to be ex. I don't know if you guys are then. And how is that?
It's just a simple question. It's, it's harder than I ever, everyone's like so much harder, or like you think it's good, this will be amicable, and then it's like all these things that I'm like, no, it'll be fine. It's way harder than I thought it would be. But at the same time, we were together for 25 years. It's a long fucking time. Like it's a long time. Like we grew up together. Like, and we have amazing daughter. So, it's been interesting. But I do think I think when you're in a relationship that you may not realize even at the time that's run its course, and just that you're happier. It's hard, but you're happier. Like I think, and also like switching that narrative, like especially when you have a daughter, I'm like, I don't feel like it's a failure. I'm like, that's a long time. Yeah, like, we grew up together. Like the whole idea that we're supposed to be together forever. I mean, if that's your journey, great. But like, I don't know. It's kind of fun. It's like fun to, I mean, like the fires, all these. Yeah. All these things have added to the not funness of it. But like, so it's interesting. But Brian, who, he's the one who got me all into, he was like the mushroom champion for years, begging me to do it for my migraines. Yeah.
And so do you, when you do it, it's a microdose?
Well, so I don't know, like I'm probably like you're probably similar to me. Like when I was in high school or college, it was just like shoving as many in my mouth at one possible time, and then like
losing my shit,
running through a field, or like
yep,
hiding in a hamper for like like 2 days. So for a while he was like trying to get me to do it, and I've always been like flower friendly, all those things. So I almost didn't understand what he meant by microdosing. Because I just had I'd either done a shit ton or not. Like, I just didn't get it. But yeah, initially I started with like microdosing. And then it's sort of like building that comfort where I'm like, okay, like I did this, or I'm, like the first time I'm like, okay, I'm doing this when Dylan's not home. Like I need to like kind of
make sure that you're good.
Yeah, or just see like how am I gonna like
lose it. And
I had friends like other migraine people kind of like form this informal support group. I have one friend, he would like take kind of a lot, but put a weighted blanket over himself and like had a specific. This was like years ago. Had a specific like Spotify mix, and would kind of like go into that state for like 5 hours, and he'd come out with no migraines. So I just started, I have like migraines and depression. I'm like, a poster child for it. But yeah, I started microdosing, and then I think sometimes if I have a very bad migraine, I'm trying to break it. I kind of cross from microdosing to whatever, what's medium dose. I'll go up.
And you get it like where do you buy yours from? Like someone that you know, or can you get them? Like can you get them from like pharmacies? I didn't even know that.
Yet. In Oakland, my sister lives in Berkeley, so when I'm in Oakland, you can like walk into any store and like a pot shop and get them. So I
know, but is that legal there? Is that
just Oakland? And then I'm gonna say Colorado. There's like 2 cities it's legal in.
Yeah, like because we were out to dinner with a couple on Friday night, and him, but I won't say his name, and he gave me a box, and it was purple presents, pink presents. It's a cute little. You have seen it? It's a cool little box. And this morning I looked at it, and I was reading it, and I couldn't really read it because I didn't have my glasses. It was like the smallest print, but there's like a website on it, and I'm like, well, shit, people buy these somewhere that's legal. Because like I get them through a friend, and he grinds them up for me, but I don't know where he gets his mushrooms from, but he grinds them up for me and puts them in pills.
Well, that's how I started. Was Brian had someone who had like a dosage for people with migraines, or claimed they did. So I started with like those pills. Then I went into the chocolates. Like I know, there's someone who delivers. Yep. She used to deliver, now she doesn't.
Yeah, I know who that person is.
Which I love hers.
Yep.
And then someone was telling me about this shop in Sherman Oaks. Have you heard? Called The Real Path or something? Or Path? I have to look it up. But it it just sells mushrooms. So it's, like you were saying, legally, I don't understand it.
Yeah. Chocolates are great, but the problem is like if you're traveling, like I've taken chocolates and they melt. I'm like, fuck, I have nothing. Like, that's why I like the capsules, because it's always in. I like capsules too, and you can just like I've traveled like the last 3 summers all through Europe, just microdosing the whole time.
Same.
And it's so much better. It's just so much easier because you don't have to you don't wake up hungover, and you have some fun, and you can do whatever you want, and it's so simple.
I know. I actually, because of my migraines, I went a long time where I couldn't drink, or it was like very risky. That it's like, do I really want to have this drink? Because I'm probably going to have a migraine tomorrow and probably not be able to function. So it's just, and the older I got, that worse. I think that just gets worse from age anyway. But to be like, I'm awake and I'm fucking having fun.
Oh my God, like, it's the best.
It's the best.
It really is. It's because you can like, everything's clearer and crisper. Yeah, I think. So this is my second real time trying this quit drinking, and this one I haven't. Like I'm almost 2.5 years, and I haven't had a lick of liquor. Like,
it's amazing.
Thank you. Zero. Like not even like a taste. And I think in the beginning, microdosing really helped me.
Oh yeah.
Because I had something else to do for the boredom, and I think it opens up your mind to different areas that you aren't in touch with. I truly do. I think it makes you. I think it rewires your brain in a positive way.
Completely. And so like I mean, when I was growing up, I remember like doing acid for the first time, and my friends and I were like, there's two types of people in the world: people who have done acid and people who haven't.
Yep.
It's like that whole Steve Jobs, like, if you haven't like opened your But that's a lot for some people. That's a little too open for like their brain. So it changes. I think it helps with depression. I know someone who's involved in this big study at UC San Francisco, and mushrooms have been the first thing, in like 50 years, that has shown immediate results for adolescents, whoever, with eating disorders.
Oh, I'm sure.
And that shit's like really hard to fix, because it's just so layered, and it's not like you can just quit eating. But it's like a combination of like, these kids are 18 and they've always been, they're so fucked up from all the social media and all these things.
I see it.
That it's like they like the thinking of things differently.
For sure.
They were like, one time a kid does it and they're like, can I get a hamburger? Like,
No, I know.
Because it's hard to be on this planet, right? Without like.
Oh, yeah. When I look at like not the only reason why it was for myself, but I quit drinking. One of the main reasons was just to show Kate more than anyone that it's not acceptable for me to be that way. Like if I can't handle my booze, and I can't drink, and I just wanted just to be a good example to her. What's crazy is that when we were younger, like we would I've done a ton of drugs. Like I've done every drug out there for the most part, and I partied a lot. And
Same.
The older I get, like I can do anything. And like I feel like my mind is so much better prepared. Like if I want to get high, I can get really high, or I can not get high. And when I say that, meaning the same dose, like I could take a gummy, a 20 milligram gummy, and I can get high on that, or I can take a 20 and not get high on that.
Yeah.
But it's my mind where I either let myself go or I don't. But I really enjoy now just doing a little bit of what I'm going to do and just keep it super mellow, just to get a head change. And that's all I need. I just need a little bit of an escape to get through some of the bullshit that we deal with.
Life, or the focus. I feel like the focus is amazing.
Yep.
And just like I was out last night, and it's like, it keeps me awake, not as awake as other drugs, but like enough that I'm like enjoying myself, and not like it's fucking 9:15. When is the yacht rock band gonna go on? Like I'm like, you can have fun. It's fun. Yeah. What do you? How are you? Like with Kate and mushroom, like the whole kind of world.
Yeah. So Kate, she knows what I do. Yeah. She sent me something about Alabama, and she's like, Daddy, THC is not legal there, and and she's like, what are you going to do when you come and visit? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a pocket full of gummies and a pocket full of mushrooms. That's what I said to her. I'm like, I'm gonna be LA sober when I'm there, and I would love to microdose with Kate before she went, but I don't think Nicole would be up for that. I just don't think that she'd be up for that. But I'd rather her do it at home than on her own. But then I don't know. But then I think, as I say that, I'm like, it's kind of like she's gonna do what she's going to do. It's kind of, I guess she probably wants to do it on her own with her friends, and I don't know. But I would much rather her do THC and do mushrooms than drink.
Oh, 1,000%.
All day long. Like I just know where that goes, and Kate's me. I mean, she's gonna have to deal with stuff I deal with, and and which is great too in so many ways, but it's very concerning to me.
Yeah, well, it's good, great that you can give her sort of like.
Yeah, I mean, she's seen my path,
Right,
and she's lived it with me. I mean, when she was younger, she would count my drinks, and I would see her and she would get upset about me getting fucked up, and she would count them. So she's lived it. So hopefully it's. I mean, I can't do anything else.
Well,
I mean, I'm an open book. I mean, she sees this.
yeah, but I think it's good she
I love
sees
you,
it.
Kate. Bob Dylan.
I think it's good they see it. I mean, I think it's so funny how you think, like, I had friends who are like, would get high with their dads, or it, that was sort of normalized in their family. And my dad, it was his 60th birthday, and he was visiting us. We lived in Venice at the time. And Brian, out of nowhere, was like, and I knew my dad had gotten high, like, we like played with Paul Simon and like New York, all these New York hippies. Like, I knew he had, but like and when I was in high school, he had a if I find it, I keep it rule. So that when your dad has that rule.
If I find, that's gross. So what did he find of yours?
I like my friends would be like, "Can I get my bowl back from the party we had at your house?" I'm like, "You can fucking ask him. I'm not asking him." And he'd have like a drawer full of like,
yeah, yo.
I was like, okay, but he was.
I want to meet your dad. I want to go on vacation with you.
Just bring hats.
I will be your butler. Whatever you want.
We could use a butler. But so he was turning 60. He was visiting, and Brian out of nowhere was like, "Paul, you want to get high?" And I was like, I mean, I didn't see it coming. I don't know. It's just something, like, just to speak to the Kate thing. For me, it was like, I'm not ready for this kind of vulnerability. Like, the whole Brian and my dad were like so cool. Like, like the old school, like,
yeah,
here, and I'm like, it was just too meta. I don't know. I was like, now I would probably be better at it. But at the time, I was like.
So I remember, I don't know if it was my senior year in high school or my freshman year in college. So my dad was a stoner and a hippie. And so growing up, my friends all knew, and this when I was young, and my older friends around the block, and I grew up with 20 kids around the block, and they all knew my dad smoked pot. And it scared me when I was young, because I'm like, oh my God, my dad's gonna get in trouble. And then my dad would like say, I'm gonna go walk the dog. And that meant he's gonna go get baked. And he'd walk the dog around the block, get high, and come back, whatever. So I always knew my dad smoked. Like, I remember going to my dad had a friend in Joshua Tree, and he had a gun shop and a gun range. We'd go to, but I remember I was probably 10. I remember this guy had a garbage bag full of weed, and I remember my dad getting a bag of it, and I remember that stuff.
And being scared, right?
Being
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. You just knew, back then, drugs are bad. Don't do drugs. And I'm like, oh my God, my dad does drugs. And so my dad had a pipe in his tool chest out in the garage, and I remember I was looking for it, and my dad's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm like, oh, nothing. He's like, go out back. And I went out back, and he's like, are you looking for this? And it was a pipe. And I got high with him before I went out.
How old?
I was 17, 18, and it fucking freaked me out a little bit. I was not mature at all, and it was a little too much for me. But I think Kate is so much more mature than me, I think.
Yeah. Well, also, it's there's something about the difference between, for me, pot and mushrooms is pot is very easy for me to freak myself out. I mean, not that I stopped doing it ever, but if I had that feeling like you were having with your dad, I could go go to a bad place quick. like just in a way that mushrooms, like I don't really go there.
So I smoked pot all through high school, and I actually didn't even really like it. I just did it because I thought it was cool, whatever. And then in college, the same thing, but I was like, but I kind of tailed off smoking as much pot. I mean, don't get me wrong, I smoked pot, but not as much as I do now. And I never smoke it now. I only take gummies. Like, I guess if I go to like a concert, maybe I'll smoke. But even in college, I would smoke, because back then we did smoke. But then I would just think about, I would just get like anxiety about everything. I'm like, this sucks. Why do I want to do this? This is awful. But I feel like I'm in a better place now, and I feel like I have my anxieties under control a lot more than I did then. And so I'm able now to enjoy it, where when I was younger I couldn't. I was like I would do it, but I didn't really enjoy it.
Or it was like that's such a fine line. If you cross that line.
Yeah, exactly. Like, where like it'd be fun, but at the same time, I think we were taking like fucking bong hits on like a 6-foot graphics. Like I was like,
from someone's like top bunk.
Yeah,
like a
like horrible. Like I remember being in my dorm, and I at San Diego State. I lived in this private dorm called El Conch. And it was just fucking chaos. Like anyone that lives in El Conch, they will say it was nuts. And I remember being in this dude's room, this guy Jared, and he made a bong out of a sparklets bottle, like the thing with like 6 tubes, and you would throw it was like a quarter or an eighth on it in the dorm room, and we would sit there and get baked. Like I couldn't function. Like for like I think days, like out of my mind.
Well, we were such like mass consumers at that time. Like you were saying, like now you can kind of decide, like if you take the same dose, you can you have enough mind control, and like wisdom or like experience that you could sort of control it. Like back then, I mean, and just the idea of like like pacing yourself or just having a little was just like. Yeah, no, and half the time you'd be miserable because you're just freaking yourself out, like going deeper and deeper and deeper.
I remember I was in Rosarito with a buddy of mine, and I think we were surfing, and then he's like, "You want to drop acid?" I'm like, "Okay." We dropped acid and drove home, and I drove home in my GTI. And I remember the only thing that saved us was if we kept smoking. So we chain smoked the whole way home, and it was those Mexican cigarettes, and those things are just so bad. But like we drove home from Rosarito back to San Diego, which it's not close. I mean, it's not far, but it's not close. It's like I think it was like 2.5 hours. And I remember my car was a piece of shit, and my GTI, and it was like about to overheat. And I remember, but. It was like a video game. It was like a game for us, and we did it.
I like thinking, like when you described that, I'm like, that's the only way you go. You got to smoke cigarettes the whole time. That keeps you like
the whole like we go.
If you stop,
we're done, and we just kept it going.
I know. I always think about them like having Uber and all those like we were.
Oh, out of our minds.
Oh my god.
Like stupidity, and it wasn't one person. It was everyone, and you'd get home. I'm never doing that again. And you wake up in the morning, you go, oh, thank God. And then the next night, you do it again.
Or the shit we just were like, got away with.
Oh.
Like it was.
Yeah.
I remember we were probably still in high school, not like between high school and college. And we were at a light. Like we were such morons. The shit we thought was so fucking funny. We were at a light in my town, and I pull up to the light. I'm driving. And there's some like car of guys next to us that are driving too. My friend, I am doing a bong hit while I'm driving that my friend's holding for me. And then we look over and they're doing it too. And like, I mean, nothing was fucking funnier. It was like, I mean, that's crazy. Like our girls, any of those stories, Dylan's like, what? Like they can't even, in a good way, they can't even comprehend why humans would do that.
When I moved to LA in '97, and then I moved. I was living in the South Bay, and then I moved to Sunset, and West fucking Hollywood back then was out of control. And we had a crew, and this crew was crazy, like just out of our mind from Thursday to Sunday for like 2 years straight. And we would go to clubs and do everything we wanted in open just because we could. And we didn't care. Like, we would laugh. Like, we did not care. And I think that's why when you look at the club scene now, I think that's why they died, is because people can't do anything. No, they can't do anything because like if you're a young star and you get like someone's gonna film you and it's just not worth it anymore, and that's why it's dead. Because people can't do what they want to do and just have fun. Like think if we went to a party today and everyone had to put their phone away, and there was a DJ and there was music and people, you would have a better time with everyone's phone away, because people would have to communicate and hang out and have fun like we did back in the day. But now everyone's so in their own fucking mind and on their phone, and it's so good, these things, but so bad. Yeah,
I mean, we also had the freedom. I mean, if we were so fucked, like if we had a camera, like we find like rolls of film, like we found them like 35 years later because everyone was too fucked up.
Yeah.
But there was no, like if people were taking photos of,
game
like
over.
I can't even.
Oh, game over.
Like I can't. If that changed for me, that would like. I remember feeling bad for them. That I'm like, the way we would all go out and just like no one would really fucking know what happened the night before. Yeah. We'd all kind of piece it together, not like scrolling.
There's no unknowns anymore.
I know.
Like there's the
no anonymity. I mean, they can't even. Yeah.
I mean, like. Just like it was like we would go out or go on a trip and we didn't know where you were going, and you just kind of just drove and figured it out and end up at a party and you had no idea who they were, but that was all part of it. That's all the excitement, and that's the unknown. And I think the biggest thing now is that kids don't know how to be bored.
Oh my God.
They don't.
Or the logistics. I remember thinking the other, like watching like Dylan or Kate like figure out where they're gonna like go or plans. I mean, you're like, it's so easy to watch. Like ours would be like, I mean, literally like star 69ing someone to figure out if they're like, who's gonna be at like, I grew up in a beach town in Long Island, so it was like, who's gonna be at the beach? Like the coordination, I don't want to say that's why we're like so successful, but it was very hard.
Oh yeah.
Like to figure out where to meet people with no. I mean, and talk about being bored. I remember sitting at beaches waiting. We're like, all right, we're giving them another hour. If they don't get here, like you just.
But that was all part of it.
I know.
And that helped you have patience and all those things that go into it. And these kids today, like everything, like and it's not just kids. It's everything. It's instant. Like what trips me out on is, think back. As far as you can remember, you could deliver pizza delivery, right? And that was normal. Well, why did it take 30 fucking years for someone to think that you could do everything else delivery too? It's like, and it's that shit like that trips me out, because I'm like, we're kind of smart, but people really aren't that smart. Because why? Like it was all these things were there before.
It's the same system.
Same exact system. It wouldn't be like as good as it today, but same thing. But no one did it. Only pizza. Like,
I know.
Why?
And it's right there.
It's stupidity. It's all there. Like it's all the same concept, but no one did it.
I know. I feel like right before I left for college, there was like a Chinese restaurant that was like, we're gonna fucking do this.
Yeah.
They were like the one, but yeah, no one did it. And I was just reading. You know, I'm sure you've read like all these articles about or the statistics of like Gen Z's. You know, the amount they consume alcohol versus like, X and millennial and boomers and whatever. And it's almost like it's some of it because it's just not as fun for them. Like you lose, like the fun in it's gone. Like all the things.
Yeah, I think the fun of it's gone, but I also think I also think I think in some ways they've seen us
Yeah.
live our lives, and they go, well, I don't want that. I think that's part of it. I mean, I don't think everyone, but I think that's a part of it.
Yeah. And I think they have higher self-esteem. I mean, not that, like, because, you know, underneath so much of the shit, even if you were popular and whatever,
Yeah.
it's like you're doing because everyone else did.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
All that stuff. Like, they feel a lot better about themselves than we did. They'd look at it and they're like, why would you, even at a party, they're like, why would you do that?
Yeah, and I think that just overall everyone's just healthier these days.
Yeah.
Like I think that's just the cool thing to be now as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. They have seen.
I mean, they've seen it. They've seen us,
some
and they've
just,
seen
like-
they've seen the shit we've gone through, and I think they just don't want it. But yeah. But then I mean, like either you're an addicted personality or you're not, and so if they're not
Yeah.
fighting that, they're just fighting something else. Because I just know I'll talk about myself, like because I'm not drinking, it doesn't mean I don't battle addiction everywhere else. Because I do. That's just my makeup.
Was your dad?
My dad wasn't so much my mom. I mean, don't get me wrong. My dad drank, but my dad really couldn't drink a lot anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So when he drank, he would get drunk, but he didn't drink a lot. But alcoholism runs in my family, like from grandparents and uncles, and it's in my blood.
Yeah.
There's I know, like if I drink, I'm good, but I just want more. Like when I drink, I always want to fill
Yeah.
whatever I feel, and I do that with everything in my life. So, but like microdosing, I'm only going to do so much. Like I'm not going to like keep taking more and more and more. And like pot, I don't either. But drinking, for whatever reason, I do.
Yeah.
Like I keep chasing it and chasing it and chasing it that's the only drug I do that with. Don't get me wrong. Like I've chased some other drugs before, but it's never like I'll do it for like one night, a ton, and then I'm like, I'm done.
You're like, it's hard to chase that every night.
Yeah, I'm not wake up in the morning going, okay, I want more of that. Like I'm
You're like, I need like a
I want to go
month
to bed.
off.
I want Del Taco and I want to go sleep.
Yeah, totally.
Like
It's so, but it is fascinating. All this is fascinating, especially with like kids leaving. The
Yeah.
whole, like,
I know. It's like
and Kate's going to like a Part T school.
yeah, and so far away, and it went by like that.
I know.
Like that. Like I remember being like at the kindergarten gate and watching them there and going, oh my god, they're so cute. And then like you're thinking those are such long years of like kinder, and then probably there, and then but it's like that, and like how fast that went. Think of the next 4 years.
I know. And people say, I remember, you know, people say shit when you're like have young kids and you're like, you know, whatever. Like, you know, you like hear it, but are you really listening to it? And people would say like the days are long and the years are short. It is like the truest. I remember like some 3-day weekends being like, I'm gonna kill myself if she doesn't go back to school. Like,
Oh yeah.
if Tuesday doesn't get here because she's not in school on Monday, and then so some of those days you're just like,
No, I know.
but then you're like, it's crazy. I went to Nicole was there, but I went to the Kenter reunion.
Oh, I wanted to go, but I didn't go. Yeah, was it cool?
I mean, it just was like, yeah, it was sweet. I think for their class, between like starting high school and COVID,
Yeah.
and then, you know, not being able to go back to their school, I think they have even the things they do feel like even sweeter. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, you know, it was nice. I mean, you know, there's only so long you're like, okay, I got it, I'm ready to go. But like seeing them,
So I wanted to go, but no one invited me, and then I was just out of spite. I didn't go.
who did you mean in your family?
Yeah, because
didn't
I'm like,
invite
why no one told me they're gonna go? And Nicole's like, well, it was on the calendar. I'm like, well, you could tell me, and I'm like, I'm not going. Just out of
you? You
spite.
taught them.
Yeah. Bill Raven, real tough guy. I'm not the boss at home at all. Zero.
But it was cool. I mean, it's cool when you like look back, and because sometimes I feel lately, you know, I'm like, God, they've had a hard, like COVID, like they've just like grown up
Yeah.
way more than, you know, I thought they would, or they've experienced so much more at a young age. But then you see them at this Kenter thing, and you're like,
They're good.
they're good. There was so much sweetness. That's even this day and age to find like a place like Kenter where they're like.
We were so blessed with that. Like I look back at those years, and just like the people I meet, like it's so like these are long-term relationships we've had that will always be there. Like wherever you go, I go, but I see you. It's the same, and it's like that with a ton of people.
I know,
and it's really cool. Like we were blessed,
and it's rare. It's rare,
and we were like such a good group, and like think of those parties we would go to. Like so much fun. Like
God, some of those poker parties
out of control. Like I was with some dads like. Last week we were talking about, oh my God, like,
and it's very, like, it was cool because it's, like-minded. It's, like,
yes.
Everyone was, like, cared about school, cared about education, but we're, like, there's something about, like, we're choosing public.
Yes.
We're badasses. We're going to send our kids to public charter school in Brentwood.
But it was great.
And the people were cool, and enough people like to party, but in a way, not in a creepy, like, that's hard to find.
Interesting conversations.
Yeah.
Always a little bit of drama here and there.
Always.
Someone's a little too fucked up. Like, always something's off, but it's fun.
Always one of those, some teacher, like.
Oh, yeah. That was what we were talking about. I'm like, I learned something I didn't even know. I'm like,
same.
Oh, now I know.
I'm like, the teachers are friendly. A lot of the scenarios I didn't see happen. Like, I didn't expect that would happen at those parties.
Right?
I had friends in New York who'd be like, how does all those things happen to you at parties? Like, do people just know to ask you? And I'm like, well, I definitely come off like,
yeah.
I'm like, you literally look like someone I would never want to do drugs with. I would never, like, you are a walking, like, this friend of mine. I'm like, you're just uptight. Like, these people, none of us were really uptight. Like, in a good way.
Well, and like you look back and like Dr. Morin was so like as unique as he was and quirky, like so good for that school and like kept it together and it just like ran a good school.
Yeah.
Like,
even when we didn't appreciate, I was like.
But now we do.
Totally. When he was, he flew back from like Japan early to come to this thing and this reunion. And then he was saying he's been going, and he kind of does things quietly too, which the older you realize like how much cooler that is than being like, this is what I'm doing to help everyone. But he's going through, can't remember how many years, like maybe 20 years of Kenter yearbooks and is going to, and they're all different companies that put them together, but is gathering them himself, like spearheading this to get them to all families that lost their yearbooks in the fire.
Oh, that's so nice.
And like
that's so nice. Oh, that is fucking beautiful.
Right? And I was like, I have a friend whose daughter, we were talking about, and their daughter goes to a fancy private school, and she said they sent out an email blast that was like, if anybody lost the yearbook in the fire, they're happy to replace them for $300 each. And the school, the parents were, people were like, you're disgusting.
Bullshit.
But just that he's like, these little yearbooks.
So nice.
I know.
Oh. That puts a smile on my face.
Mine too.
What else do I have here? We talked so many things. Are you doing online dating?
No, I've dated, but I'm like a meet someone in person type.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I didn't think I would be, and I think
that makes sense to me.
I think it's rare. I don't know. It's almost like I don't know any better. Mm-hmm. Because I was married for 25 years. People that are like, well, you don't text back right away, or you don't do that, and I'm like, well, why not? But recently I was like, should I do it? Online dating. Yeah. It doesn't seem appealing.
Yeah, I have not a lot of friends, but I have friends that have done it. And I feel like they do well. I think of guys it's different because you can just be a slut. I think in the beginning, So I think they do it a ton in the beginning and just have fun, and then they go, and then it's back to basics. Well,
it's like people do phases of it.
Yeah.
My friend was trying to explain it to me. She's like, it's like a part-time job. And I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like, Can't you just not answer? I don't know. So I'll report back on another episode and tell you what it's like.
How did you get involved with Citizen Hyde? Like what? Like because I don't even know that story. Like it's you and Annie started it. But like, where did the idea come from? And like, I don't even know any of that.
It came from like kids' safety, like around the time that like when the girls were young, and suddenly it was like it went from being like weed to like a lot of like gummy candy, all that stuff. And Annie had a friend that she'd like. Do you remember when there'd be blueberries, like gummy?
Yeah.
When I just said that, I'm like, where'd those go? They were good. But
they're strong.
Yeah, they were. You got a half. Was like, so she'd given a friend like.
Know who used to love those? Scott.
Oh yeah,
Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Me and him had some good times on blueberries. Love Scott.
Those were
R.I.P.
Yeah, truly. So she had given a friend blueberries, like parents, and like 10 minutes later, she's like, where are the blueberries? Let's do them. They can't find them.
Oh my God.
And they're like, kids are walking around and like, so it started as like that like we should be able to, it's the beginning for us of that feeling like we should be able to do gummies. Like, I've never been a real drinker, but like why, I should be able to do that, but do it responsibly. The same way you would like lock a liquor cabinet. So we really started with that it was like for adults that like want to party responsibly and not have their kids wind up in the ER because they ate like and it just kept getting bigger. It was like this little issue, and then it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger that kids were getting into them. Then it sort of crossed so that we had the lockable bag. It was smell proof, it was odor resistant. It kind of went back and it was like safety, and then it crossed a line into like being able to party responsibly and not have like go to a concert and not have them like be able to find it. Then it really like, I think the biggest part that we didn't see coming was like festivals and phones and Europe and phones and money. And so there became this like almost crime, or your kids are at Coachella and they get their phones stolen. I mean, because they weren't trying to Star 69 each other, they don't know how to get out of a thing with no phones. So it just became, it grew into that. And it was, I mean, it's been a hard time. I think like coming up with manufacturing, I didn't realize, I was kind of like naive enough to be like, well, I can run a company. Manufacturing is a whole different world. And we kind of like got momentum right as COVID happened. And then, we're just in tariffs and shipping, like all these things that were just way out of my wheelhouse, kind of got in the way. But it's still there. I still think there's like
it's tough, and it's there's so much competition everywhere, and you're competing against it, and it's all about content and
branding.
I mean, 'cause that's what I do for a living, and it's just like it's absurd how much content you need now. I mean, that's why like linear television is so nice, like if you get it to work for the right brands, because you control it, right? Because if you make a piece of creative, you can usually get, depending on how much you spend, like I can get a year out of it on TV. So I can make a 30-second spot, a 6-second spot, a 5-minute, 3-minute, an hour, whatever it may be. If I can get it to work, I can get that to work, and I can spend $1 million a week. And do it for like a year, and I'm buying the media at rates that work for it, or I'm not buying the media, and we control it. Where when you go to all these social platforms, they fuck with you, and they either push you up or push you down, and unless you're spending more money, where
constantly
on TV,
you have to like
on TV I know that if I buy it at these rates, I can make it work. And it's great, but it's just that business is dying a little bit, so it is nuts right now. So where can people find you on your website for work is
ampersand.art.
okay, and then for Citizen Hyde is citizenhyde.com.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Dating profile. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. When I'm ready, I'll come back.
Well, this is so much fun
So
to catch
fun.
up with you. Thank you so much
My
for
pleasure. This was
coming
fun.
on the podcast. I really enjoyed speaking with you.
I know, I'm catching up.
It's so fun. So guys, thank you again for tuning into the podcast. Again, support the brand, lasober.com, and all the socials that we are LA Sober. Happy Friday. Peace.